What? Um,
That's how it starts.
It's church chat with Pastors Dan and Dave. Come hang out with us on our stream. It's Church Chat Wednesday.
it is Church Chat Wednesday. Man,
Yes,
I
it is.
missed,
It's
I
been a
missed
while.
that. I missed that song.
I know. I haven't heard it since like last year.
Oh, the old New Year's dad joke. Get him
Yeah.
out. I am Pastor Dan,
And I'm Pastor Dave.
and welcome to Wednesday Church Chat, the first one of 2021.
And we got Jimmy on the
You
keys.
got Jimmy on the keys over there pushing the magic buttons. He has made, I think we need to acknowledge in 2021 how far Church Chat has come. We originally threw this together on a whim. Just like, hey, let's just do this. You know, it was the first time when was it? March? Was that our very first Church Chat?
Yes.
Yes.
And we basically just said, hey, we're going to be shutting down, but we're going to try to do things to keep everybody connected and informed and that kind of stuff. So we had our very first one, and you might remember we were scrambling and figured out how to get the mayor
Yes, it was the mayor.
as our guest, and like, oh man, we got to keep doing this. This was really great, and so we've kept it going. But not only have we kept it going, James, I feel like every week has added some sort of nuanced improvement to things. He's got, well, the big thing I think was the logo.
Yeah.
Maybe 1A and 1B are the logo and the theme song. Those are both big. But then he's got, like, you can't see it from here, but he's got all of this. He's got 2 computer screens going. He's got more knobs and buttons over
Well,
there than you can
now he
imagine.
does the closing too.
He does a closing too with a different instrument each week. It's
crazy.
astounding. It's astounding. So
What do you think we should do for our 1 year anniversary? If we make it that long.
if we make it that long, we're 2 months, man. I think we can do this. I think we can do it. We'll blow it out big time. Maybe what would be amazing. Here's what I'm hoping for at some point in time, that we're able to go live on location with a studio audience.
Ooh.
Right?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty fun. We could do that.
Here's the thing though. We laugh at each other's jokes.
Nobody else thinks we're
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. We'd have to have somebody like Corinne over there with a laugh
A little.
sign or applaud sign.
Could we get Scott the drummer with the drum kit and do the rim shot?
Yeah, it's right beside you. You could probably grab one. Yeah, just like that.
I'm going to start using that on our jokes.
All right.
By the way, I think our lips are a little bit off as far as the lag. There's no lag, but it's like it's problems on my end. Just so you know, that's all good.
It's actually not true. We are ventriloquists.
Yeah, that's right.
It's very
impressive. Today, in just a little bit, we are going to be talking with a local celebrity. What's his title?
Yes, he's the husband of the quarantine queen.
That's what it is.
I mean,
Yes.
that's all anybody needs to know.
Just Kelly Bibler's husband. That's fine. He does have a name. He has 2 names. You might know him as Rex Bibler or Rex Howard, your voice on 100.5 WKXA.
That sounded pretty good.
Well, a lot of people told me I have a face for radio.
I'm totally gonna set you up with a snare.
But we'll be talking with him in just a little bit. He just started doing this, like a month or 2 ago, I think. So we'll talk to him about it.
I mean, he's been on the
He's
radio.
been there. He's been on the
yeah.
radio quite a bit, but now he's kind of the main dude there, and
Yep.
so that's really cool. It's fun to turn on the radio and to hear his voice, and so it's got me listening to 100.5 a little more. I don't endorse radio stations, but I endorse our people, and so I like that. So, Dave, how you been, man? What's going on? It's been we've seen each other, but since the masses have been able to see us, how have you been?
I'm trying to think. Even the last time we had a show.
Well, it was in December. We've taken 3 weeks off.
Mm.
We took 3 weeks off, I believe.
Okay.
So it's been a little while, but we made it through Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas, that was a part of why we didn't have a show. It was a day before Christmas Eve, and Christmas Eve was kind of a mad rush trying to figure out, hey, how do we do a drive-through live nativity, make it meaningful, make it something.
Let's go to that.
Okay, go ahead.
Because you had talked about basically what we were throwing together was kind of like your third grader giving you a piece of artwork.
I made this
Here,
for
and,
you.
glue's hanging out and everything else. And that's kind of what I thought we were doing. With we're kind of going through this as a fancy way to kind of give out some candles and some.
Yeah.
But
it was also just to clear, it was the best we felt like we could do.
Right, exactly. But
the best we could do.
But some of the people who came through there were, I mean, I understand there were probably a good deal of it as they were starved for humanity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But there were some people bawling because they were moved. I mean,
yeah, just so thankful that there was something, that there was a way to celebrate Christmas Eve. It was snowing off and on that day. It was stinking cold out there.
Yeah.
But it was great. It was a great way to be able to just see people that you would hope that you get to see. And I know a lot of people took their communion and their candles and the stuff we had for kids and were able to take that.
But it
home.
was touching how touching it was.
Yes.
And then that evening for us, we had, if you remember, at Thanksgiving, Heidi had COVID, and then we were quarantined, and then her dad passed away, and so we had just a lot of time where we weren't really able to see anybody or have our family under one roof. But to have everybody at our house on Christmas Eve, including our boys and their significant others and everything, and watch service together was awesome.
Yeah.
And little guy Gabe, dancing to the music and everything.
That's so cool.
It was really cool.
We had, first of all, Holly bought all of us matching pajamas, which you might have seen if you watched that video.
I did.
And that was a specific. I've gotten some flack from some people about the matching pajamas, and I can see the look on your face. But the moral of the story is I will do anything for my children, especially on Christmas. And so that was a request of theirs, and I said, fine, I will do that. So
Good for you.
yeah, I know you don't love your family as much as I love mine,
Fair enough.
but so we did that, and lit our candles together. My family being in some of the videos that were on there, they are the worst. I love my family so much. They're terrible to watch serious things with. And so I'm sitting there trying to enjoy it, and Adeline's, laughing at herself being on there. everything else. So it was always it when it gets too serious, they feel like that to make a joke, which I don't know where they get that from. But but we had a great time with that, and I think I got a lot of great feedback on the video for Christmas Eve. That was something that people enjoyed, and so I'm glad that we were able to do that, and that it was something that was meaningful to others. And it was a weird Christmas, but it was one with everything. I feel like with everything kind of stripped away, there was a sadness too. We don't get to do the big Christmas services or the big Christmas family get-togethers or the big whatever else. All you can do is just be with the people you're closest with. It was like, oh, okay, well, that I'm okay with. It was a different kind of Christmas. I don't want it every Christmas, but it was good for me. And I feel like I think I made a Facebook post about this at one point in time. I have in the past measured the success of my Christmas by the number of people that I interact with. As a pastor especially, how many people came to Christmas Eve? How big were the services? How many family get-togethers you go? Oh, we had 100 people at our family get-together or whatever. And I couldn't measure it by number of people this year. That wasn't in the cards. And it was just going to have to be how meaningful the incarnation is. So that was a good thing, and that was meaningful to me.
Well, especially because as pastors, our families do get pushed aside.
Yeah.
Quite a bit. More than a lot of professions, and just to have that special time with everybody.
Yeah.
And
this is the first Christmas Eve I was at home that evening in 15 years.
Yeah.
And so that was special to me to be able to actually do that and actually be together. And then after we watched the video together, I remember we drove down Main Street and looked at the luminaries and
cool.
And then came back home, and I think by that time we were exhausted and went to bed. But it was really good. It was beautiful. So so are we about where are we at with calling Rex? Are we getting there? Is he calling in or are we calling him?
We'll ring him.
All right, let's ring him.
Go 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so I'm just trying to fix the I'm trying to fix our latency, or just match the lips to the sound. It's kind of a weird thing to try to do on the fly, but we'll figure it out.
I don't know how much. I'd be curious to know how much do people watch us and how much do people just leave the audio on in the background, because you can only look at this for so long.
That's right. Yeah. Just close your eyes
before you're
listen.
mesmerized.
You should probably just put the picture up anyway.
Close
it's
your
beautiful.
eyes. Yeah, close your eyes. Listen. And you'll hear. We'll get Rex going here, but you'll hear him before he's ready. So
okay.
Just keep talking, and all of a sudden he'll be there.
Maybe it'll be like Netflix. You ever watch any like the German shows or anything where it's dubbed over?
I've seen some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what we look like.
If I wanted to read, I'd get a book.
Well, I'm saying they redid the audio in English.
Hey, and I see Rex Howard of 100.5 WKXA.
Excellent. Yeah.
Rex, how are you doing today, brother?
I'm good. Fighting technology. It's a wonderful thing. So
we're fighting it on our end, and that's basically your real job, is fighting technology all day.
yeah, I've been fighting YouTube this morning. Although we have a new iPad, so it's not all YouTube's fault. So it's all the settings were changed. So
It can't possibly be user error, can it?
no, never.
Well, Rex, so you, how long have you now been with WKXA?
We were, I think, 13, going on 13 years. We're trying to figure that out, but in radio, over 25, I think.
Wow.
So not all full time.
Right.
So.
And you just now kind of have a new, or not just now, but recently have a newer position. What's your actual title now as the DJ?
brand manager of WKXA and mornings.
In mornings. Awesome.
KXA, yeah. Started right before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was recent that you started doing that, and that has to be kind of a neat thing. The morning guy was always the way I got to know the morning radio guy was listening to see if my school was closed or not.
Right,
Back
me
in the
too. Yeah.
That was your most important function.
Yeah. And now we send out text messages to everybody.
Everybody gets a text message or checks Facebook to see if school's closed or whatever. But I still like to hear it on the radio. It makes it real for me.
And before you were kind of like the drive home guy, right?
I've worked every shift, really. Yeah. I was on KXA a while, right when they went country, and then I was off. I was over at our sister station, 106.3 The Fox. I was actually on both at the same time. And then I came off KXA and then asked back here in November. So I'm off 106.3 The Fox. So, yeah, I've been all over the dial, up and down the dial.
Yeah. So I've got a couple of questions on this. So I was driving Sunday night. You came and helped us. You also helped us out quite a bit at church. And you were helping run sound on Sunday morning. And then I heard you Sunday night. Now, maybe this is a secret of radio magic that I'm not allowed to know about. But were you actually back in the studio, or do you record some of that? How does that work?
That if you heard me on the weekend, I was filling in for somebody. I was recorded. So
okay.
Yeah.
So you
In the
can just
morning?
be sitting home on your couch, but everybody thinks you're working.
Yeah,
That's a good deal.
That's at home. So.
That's a good deal. I like that.
So my question
Yeah,
is,
Yeah, go ahead.
how do you guys come up with your sort of your radio handle, like Rex Howard, Casey Allen? I guess I don't know what I would be called, but what's
sometimes they're given to you. In my case, Howard is my middle name, so Rex Howard, and other people just use their name. So, but I went with Rex Howard, and that's my name. I show people my license. So.
excellent?
It's like Paul Harvey. I believe Paul was his middle name. Can't remember, but he didn't go by his real name. Well, kind of, yes.
Would you have been allowed to say Rex the Rocket or anything like that?
No. Rex the Rocket.
No, because of WKXA or because of Kelly, or both.
I could use a lot of names. Yeah.
Hey, I fixed your video.
There you are.
So how do you? I guess I have two questions, and I don't know if they're related or not. But first, how did you kind of get into radio and doing this in the first place? What was it that made you want to do it? And then, knowing that you are a man of faith and you're very faithful in our church and everything, how do you see radio and what you do as a kind of ministry also?
Radio, I grew up on a farm, south of Austin, and we always had country radio on. It seemed I listened to a lot of different stations as a kid, FIN in Findlay, WJR in Detroit, CKLW, and we just had radio. My mom and dad grew up when radio, an actual radio, was a piece of furniture in your house. It was a nice looking piece of furniture. And so I just always had radio, and I was actually going to be a farm mechanic. and then I didn't do that. So I don't know. It was Mike McKittrick from WFIN. That's an old name. He did mornings on FIN. He came to our, 7th, 8th grade class and spoke, and I listened to him on the air, and it just sounded fun. And it wasn't until my senior year in high school that I decided to sit in at a radio station, and I thought, okay, I'm going to do this. So that was back 82, 83. So what was your other question?
Just how do you see it kind of as being a man of faith and everything? How do you see this as kind of fitting into your your life as a Christian and as a ministry?
Oh, radio is a connection. Radio is a friend, a companion, and a community. And so that all kinds of goes together with faith too. Really, it's a connection. And a lot of people say, "Well, satellite," people listen to satellite radio. When I listen to satellite radio, I feel empty. I don't have a connection with anybody or anything. So we're able to talk about things in the community, and I try to have fun.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things I notice about you when I listen is that oftentimes there's some sort of local story that you're talking about, or just kind of it seems to me like there's also just kind of no matter what's going on, we're in the middle of a pandemic, all sorts of other stuff going on in our country, but you try to act as kind of a positive voice and somebody that makes you feel good about things when you listen.
Right. It's easy to maybe concentrate on those things and the bad things, but sometimes you have to really look for the good stuff that's out there. But there's a lot of good things going on around Findlay, Hancock County, and WKXA covers just a huge area. In radio, we call it the Big Stick.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, those things are, the good stuff is out there.
Yeah.
When you look.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we appreciate. I know I appreciate that, and it's something that I don't have to worry about. When my kids are listening or something like that, feeling uncomfortable or whatever. Like, I know that it's going to be something pretty positive and good. And so, yeah, definitely appreciate that.
We're conscious of that here.
Yeah, that's awesome. So when you got into it, like, I guess I just figured for you getting into radio, somebody just heard you talk and said, dude, your voice should be on the radio.
No, no, I actually had kind of a lisp. And when I went to Ohio University, and the first class I had was a speech class, or how to get your optimum voice.
Really?
And several weeks, but there's some exercises you could do. And so my voice was not always, I don't know, kind of wasn't high, but it wasn't, I had a lisp, but I got over that. And no, nobody ever said, no, you should be in radio. No.
Really?
No.
So that makes me want to take that class.
Yeah.
And like, oh, so anybody can sound like you? That's amazing.
Not everybody.
Well, Rex, I appreciate you. We appreciate you, and appreciate what you do in our community. And thanks for giving us something awesome to listen to on the radio.
Thanks,
I
Rex.
appreciate you asking. I have
I was just going to say, just from our chat before we wrap everything up, Kelly says, look at the 3 amigos, and then I, of course, let her know that we are 4 amigos currently. And then Holly says she loves listening to the good stuff on her way back from work every morning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or the way to work, excuse me.
Before we go, I have a question for you guys.
All right.
All right. Tomorrow, I am recording an interview with John Peters. Do you know John
Oh,
Peters?
my goodness, yes. That's another guy
big
with
nut.
another great voice.
John Peters is the big nut at Ohio State games. Maybe you're thinking somebody else.
I'm thinking of somebody else. I know another John Peters. So you're doing the interview with the big nut from Ohio State?
Yeah, well, he lives in Fremont.
Really?
And,
I did not know that.
and so he works at Whirlpool in Clyde.
Okay.
And we're going to record an interview because the big game coming up, I think you've heard about
I've heard about this game, yes.
So my question is, do you have a question for the big nut?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, man.
So-
Well, I guess I have a couple of questions.
I have one.
All right, you have
Write
one.
these
Go
down.
ahead.
What is his most memorable
Yeah.
game and why?
Most memorable game. Okay.
And why? What made it stand out?
Right. Yep. I think that's great. I would ask two things. One, like, what was it that made him so passionate to want to do this, to want to be this alternate person, and come and to go to all these Ohio State games? What was it that created that passion in him? And number two, what is he doing next Wednesday at noon?
Oh,
I'll ask him.
All right, that sounds great.
You could ask him if he would say that he is a sports nut.
you could ask him if he's got a Skype account.
Because that would be a fun interview.
Yeah,
He now has his own pickles.
He has his
Yes,
own pickles?
He sells jars of pickles now. Yeah,
My girls are crazy about pickles. I'm going to have to get some of those. That's awesome.
I think they sell them up around Fremont.
That's excellent. Well, I'll look. Where will we be able to hear that interview?
Well, I'm going to record it tomorrow, and then I think it'll be part of the news on Monday, and I'll have it on air Monday.
Awesome.
I'll go
Also, on game day.
on game day. Yeah,
Right on. Right on. That'll be excellent. He's not going to the game, obviously.
He was at last week's game.
He was at last week's game, really. Do you have any idea? Is he going to this game?
I'll ask him. I don't know. I have a good idea he will be.
Wow.
you have a big nut. You take it.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You make accommodations.
You make accommodations for that guy. Absolutely. So because there's two. Ohio State has kind of two super fans. There's Big Nut, and then what's the other guy's name?
Captain Buckeye.
Captain Buckeye.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Both excellent. And I ran into both of them once. I went to a game. A group of guys and I used to, and I'm getting off topic, but a group of guys and I used to try to hit every away Ohio State Big Ten game, like hit all the stadiums once. So every year we'd pick a different away. So we went to Maryland the first year that they played at Maryland, and I ran into those guys there. That was kind of cool.
Wow.
The captain every year would show up at Special Olympics in
Is that right?
Columbus
Very cool.
for the athletes and stuff.
Very cool.
Nice.
Well, that's awesome. Very cool. And yeah, I'll definitely look forward to that interview. Sounds good. Rex, thanks again, man. We appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Tell
Thanks
the
to you guys.
quarantine queen we said hello.
Take care.
We'll do that.
All right. We'll see you. Take care.
right.
We've got some great people in our church that do some such unique things, and I love that. Rex has been a part of our leadership team now for the last couple of years. Just a solid guy, and really appreciate him
And his wife.
She's all right. She's all right. Yeah. That's awesome. He's going to interview Big Nut. We should try to get him.
Yeah.
Especially if Ohio State wins. That would be a great interview.
Yeah, that would be.
I'm sorry. When Ohio State wins. Aha. So, 2 weeks ago, you preached.
Yes.
And you started off your message talking about the Savior who has come, and that you called him Baker Mayfield.
Yes.
And very excited about what the Browns are doing. And so the Browns lost that day.
They did.
When you said that to the Jets.
Yeah.
Of all teams.
And you know how bad I got called out via text? Diane Height was not happy.
Nor should she have been. You're a jinxer, like the Dr. Pepper commercial. And
no, but Cliff had the foresight to see all this. Just sets it up for a big
so we had the
deal with when we play Pittsburgh,
right? Which we beat Pittsburgh.
Yes.
And then we have to play Pittsburgh again.
Minus a coach.
We're down a coach. We're down Hodge, the receiver. We're down Bitonio, who, even if you're not a sports fan, you got to feel for this guy. He's been on the team for like a decade
Yeah.
and never made the playoffs. They're going to finally make the playoffs, and he's going to be out with COVID.
Yeah.
Had another guy.
Because you're assuming they're not going to win.
I didn't say that. We got another guy, Olivier Vernon, great defensive player, ruptured his Achilles. He's out.
See, and this leads to my theory that we discussed yesterday a little bit. I think Cleveland Stadium has to be built on some kind of ancient burial ground, or we have disrupted some kind of force of nature for whatever reason.
You believe in curses.
It is just cursed to the core. There's no other explanation.
I don't know. Well, I'm hopeful.
The last time they went to playoffs, I was 34.
Yeah, I'm hopeful for the Browns this Sunday. We got listen, 2021. If you are an Ohio State and Cleveland Browns fan, has started off well.
Well, let's just face it, though. I mean, all Browns fans are Ohio State fans because you need that.
I don't know if that's true.
It's pretty true. I mean, you just need that.
You do need the because that is such a swing.
Yeah,
it's such
it's
a
a
pendulum swing from Saturday to Sunday most of the time.
And one is always one of the best, and one is always one of the worst. You need that, or you would just hate football.
Yeah, true. Well, that will be. We'll see what happens this weekend. It will be it'll be an interesting sports weekend for football fans in Ohio.
In all honesty, I kept saying it, and I was just looking forward to a winning season this year.
Yeah.
We got our winning season. Mm-hmm. Butter on top. We got a little playoff going.
Beyond sports, I'm interested from both of you. What are you hoping for this year? 2020 was a train wreck in a lot of ways. Good things came out of it, but I think everybody is trying to feel optimistic about 2021, trying to feel like this is going to be. What do you hope for in the coming months?
Okay, I'm not trying to be morbid. I'm really not. But
okay,
a few less family funerals would be good on my end.
You've had a lot of family funerals,
so that would be great. And a lot of my hopes, I'm really banking on the youth.
Yeah.
I mean, I would really like to get our youth back and activated, and because I felt like they just kind of got a taste of it, and it had to disappear for a while, and be able to go on a mission trip this year as well.
Yeah,
would be.
I know that was one of the things that was so disappointing for my daughters, and that we're really, really looking forward to is, hopefully being able to do some sort of mission trip this year. I think one of the obvious things everybody wants is, an end to the pandemic, or at least, whether or not it's able to end, at least being mitigated in such a way that life can be more open, normal-ish. Getting together with people, going to places, doing things. I think that there's a lot of that people want. So, Jimmy, how about you, man? What are your hopes for 2021?
Do I get church points for saying peace on earth and goodwill towards men?
5,000 church points.
Because you know me, I mean, if we're not talking sports, I don't know what I would really want. I'm such a sports fan.
If you would have said, I just want to hear you guys preach, that would have been like a million.
I'm just looking forward to every Sunday when I get to hear you speak.
The awesome sermons every Sunday, of course.
Speaking of that, hopefully it's okay for me to bring this up. It popped up in my memories on Snapchat yesterday that it was 1 year ago that we got to celebrate James's baptism. We got the dunk tank. and got to do an immersion, which was a lot of fun. You had your American flag swimsuit on, leading worship, dripping
Perfect.
wet after that, which I loved. I thought that was amazing. It was also amazing. Buddy Marcus jumps off the stage in his jeans and cowboy boots. It's like, yep, my turn next. And
Pretty epic.
Yep.
that was a pretty good day. That was one of my favorite days in ministry. Getting to do that, that's a top tenner for me.
Well, Dan, I was hoping to keep it a secret, but since you bring it up, we'll go ahead and let it out.
People now know that you love
People-
Jesus. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's out there. That was a very cool day.
Kelly
as-
said she liked that day very much as well.
yes, that was a good day. It was one of those where we were all, I think, kind of flying high afterwards, and
And
feeling good.
when we dunked Travis too. That was a
yeah,
good one
yeah.
to wit.
Yep. I think we need to purchase a dunk tank.
Yes.
Like we're just going to go out
I
and
think
get
we
one.
need to
We've been
purchase
borrowing them, and I
A
think we just need to.
heater for the.
That is also true. The heater thing was a little chilly. It was a little chilly doing that.
We could also use it to water the live nativity animals every year.
Hey, there you go.
Mm.
There you go. It could,
Double purposes.
multiple purposes. That's just economic.
I do have another hope for
Okay.
a puppy.
You want a puppy?
I want a puppy.
Because the chickens worked out so well.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh! I hope Holly's not watching.
Heidi's gonna put the kibosh on it so bad.
Probably
Really?
just watching.
Yeah, Heidi would be like, nah.
My girls have started asking for a puppy recently. We have a dog, or 3/4 of a dog, and but they want another puppy. Here's the thing: number one, it's winter. I don't want to house train a dog in winter. It's awful.
Nope.
That is just awful. Number two, I am always the one that ends up doing the taking care of. And I don't want another dog. I just don't. We've had this conversation. I know that people hate that I'm just not a huge dog animal
Because it's a chore
guy.
for you.
It's a chore for me. Everybody else gets to just, oh, look, I love it. Dad, go feed it and take care of it, and it's not a big fan. But
I think
but
that's
Adeline
Heidi's
really
protest.
wants, and she found this golden retriever puppy of all
Mm.
puppies, which obviously the cheapest of all dogs. So I told her if she gets a job and pays for it herself,
Hence,
hence
she asked me for a job.
she asked you for a reference.
Yeah.
She's applying at the Findlay Country Club to be a hostess, so we'll see what happens.
By the way, Holly is listening, and she says, yes, Dave, Dan wants one too.
Dan does
Nice.
not want a dog. But yeah, so she applied there. My brother works there. Eileen Young is the hiring person there,
Yeah.
so she's probably going to end up getting a job there.
she will
And-
get church points.
And then yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. But I said that means you're going to save up your money. You can't just go buy lattes every day
Right.
and expect to still have money at the end.
You got to pay for that puppy.
Yeah.
What about the vet bills too? You know what I mean?
Here's my thing. I agreed to this. This might sound like I'm a terrible parent. I agreed to this because I don't see it happening.
yeah.
So I basically said, "Yeah, go for it." But
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't see her getting close. But if she proves me wrong, good for her. But here's the other problem. Oh, perfect. I hit my own. This is gonna be fun.
Let me put it closer to you, too.
I appreciate that. So here's the other thing. She's going to do this. Let's say she actually does this. She's a
Okay.
freshman right now. Okay. By the time she makes enough money, she'll be a sophomore.
Right.
Let's say all of this actually happens.
Yep.
She gets a dog.
I know
She
where you're
moves out
going.
in 3 years.
Yep.
Who's got the dog now? I've got the dog. Right, exactly. So this is my life. This is what's happening.
I did that to my parents.
I'm pretty excited about this.
With a 170-pound dog.
That's awful.
that lived to be like 16.
Wow.
I had her for a year and a half
So,
before I turned 18.
so, kind of getting back to it. I mean, because we should probably wrap up for too long, but my other hope for this year is, especially as far as church goes, is, I think we did a good job of surviving.
Mm-hmm.
As a church, this past year. I really am hopeful that we are able to thrive. There were moments in this last year that, as hard as it was, there are going to be moments that I'm going to never forget.
Oh, yeah.
Things that we were able to do. The first drive-through communion we did, where we had our robes on Maundy Thursday, and then
Easter,
the drive-through or the drive-in service we did there, and just some of the other different events like that we were able to pull off. The trunk or treat was awesome, and then everything we did for Christmas Eve was really meaningful to me. So we did a video of some more traditional music and things like that. Just some of that kind of stuff was so meaningful to me. And I'll always remember those things. And I hope for more moments like that, whatever they look like. Hopefully they're back in person kind of thing, but things that are memorable moments that are yet to come that will be impactful. And man, you guys remember when we did that, or remember when that happened kind of moments. Part of last year was that baptism. So that was in 2020. That was great. It's a great start to the year. Went downhill, but it was a great start.
We started off on the high point.
Yeah.
But it'd also be great to see St. Mark's to have an impact on the community.
Absolutely. Yep. Just things like that, the impact on the community, in big moments like that, those are the things that to me are really awesome. And so that's my hope for this year, is just more moments like that are big impact, Christ-filled, man, God was here kind of moments. Those are my favorite. And so we'll do our best to facilitate those things. Don't know what they'll be. I haven't imagined them yet. God has. And so that's what I'm excited about, is those things coming together. So maybe it'll be at a vacation Bible school. Maybe it'll be at a mission trip. Maybe it'll be some other thing that we haven't even thought of yet. So whatever it might be. Look forward to it.
Amen.
Yeah.
Hey, because I know that you specifically stopped talking about this on purpose, and I love puppies. Holly wants to know what kind of puppy Dave wants.
A Scotty dog.
A little barky Scotty dog.
I don't think they're barky.
Aren't they? Aren't all little dogs barky?
Yeah, but if you've ever had a little terrier, they're pretty cool because they act pretty tough.
Your idea of what's cool and mine is way different.
I know. Like when we're walking downtown and I hear the church bells, and I'm like, that is so awesome.
We're not going to get into this again. Okay. But the dog that, Faith, our dog, we were talking about this the other day, probably of the dogs that I have had, she's probably my favorite dog that we've had, because she barks never. Never. She's funny to look at. She's got 3 legs, which is just funny. And she's just a sausage roll that lays there. Yeah. She does nothing. She is a piece of furniture. Yeah. And it's amazing. If you got to have a dog, that's the kind of dog to have.
Dan wants a wiener dog then for the next one.
What I really want is some peace and quiet. And just... I don't
want my own apartment.
Well... I'm not going to go there. But if there's more dogs coming into the family, I don't know what'll happen. It'll be interesting to see. But one of these days, I'll just show up and Holly will be like, "Look, I found this on the side of the road," and we got another dog.
Yeah.
That happened once. I was at a conference somewhere. I was out of state. I don't even remember where I was. I was out of state, and Holly sent me a picture of a cat. It said, "Can we keep it?" And she was obviously already home with the cat. And I'm like, well, I mean, I'm out of state, and you already got it. So does it matter what I say?
That's how we got our last 2 dogs. Is I showed up with a dog.
You're just giving her the blueprint of how to do this again. You know that.
She already knows. She already knows. It doesn't matter. It'll happen whether I want it to or not. So
you heard it here. Dan and Dave both getting puppies.
yeah. Yep. No, what's hilarious is Dave, it sounds like, probably won't get a puppy, and I probably will.
Sadly.
That seems to be exactly what's going to happen.
Sadly.
Anyway.
This is great. This show is going to be on our best of clips.
Is this
for
a best of, really?
This is the best of.
All right.
Woohoo.
Woohoo. Well, thank you so much. A couple quick church things that I'll let you know about. Start off. I'm sorry, this one's a little bit sad, but might have seen in the paper today. Longtime church member Fred Hersmaki passed away. It's in the Hancock Sports Hall of Fame.
Yes,
he's been at a nursing home for the last couple of years, but lived a pretty incredible life. Services are pending. We'll keep you posted on all of that. Also want to let you know that we are continuing to monitor things in this year. Lead teams having conversations about, hey, what's the future look like? You know, what's reopening look like? What does all of the? We're looking at it constantly and having discussions as we make decisions moving forward. We'll keep you posted, but we got, some people have rolled off the leadership team, new people on. So be praying for us. Give us wisdom, that God would give us wisdom to do our very best to make disciples in the best and safest way possible, but most effective way possible. So that's what we're looking at trying to do. Church is still going to be, for right now, not in person. It'll be live stream only, Facebook and YouTube, 10 a.m. on Sundays. So make sure you watch with us. We are in a series called Conspiracy Theories, which is really about, we're looking at the Apostles' Creed, and each section of the Apostles' Creed is really kind of a conspiracy theory in and of itself in many people's eyes. And so we'll be talking about that. And then every Wednesday here at 10 o'clock, or 12 o'clock, not 10 o'clock, we'll have Church Chat. You can also watch for Corinne's videos for the kiddos, the Spark Kids Online. Those are on YouTube as well, and also on our St. Mark's Family Ministry page. Make sure you check those out. Have I missed anything?
No, you have not.
Only one thing. I'm going to help you out here. All right. A horse walked into a bar, and the bartender said, "Hey, why the long face?" Thank you. There we go.
Thanks, man. You gave me the stuff, and then we didn't tell any jokes. We got serious. So I need this from the beginning. I think that's when the jokes happen.
Oh, I'll set it up next time.
All right. Very excited.
Sure,
I'll play along with the theme here at the end, just so this isn't a waste.
That's going to be great.
I've got no rhythm whatsoever. My brothers, both drummers. Me, not as much. Thank you guys so much for being with us. And for everybody who's watching online. And we will hopefully see you soon. James has an instrument in his hand that I believe you all will be familiar with. And let's have our theme song. Go
All
for
right.
it. See you guys later.
Are you ready?
Yep.
Here we go.
It's Church Chat with Pastors Dan and Dave. Come hang out with us on our stream. It's Church Chat Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
Have a great day, everybody.
I feel like I need a tambourine or something.
Oh, my God.
You
A
do need a
triangle.
tambourine. You can just be one of our backup
The
dancers.
sand blocks.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.